This dog, by the way, is made entirely out of meatballs, in case you hadn't figured that out. That's Rusty. He's a Lhasa Apso. And you can see just the thrilled look on his face. Clutch Trucker is filmed before a live studio audience. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Alright, so if you watched my previous video, I had this load of styrofoam that I picked up in the Denver area. Going to P.O.E, I think that's how it's pronounced, T-O-O-E-L-E, Utah. There's a TA right nearby, which is nice. Anyway, got shut down last night and just west of Laramie, Wyoming, because of high winds. And this load weighs nothing. It's like pulling an empty trailer. So I had to shut down there, and this morning I had to wait for daylight because I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be icy and everything across Elk Mountain in Arlington, where it often gets really nasty. So I got going, and it was still windy, still pretty bad though. And boy, I almost blew over a few times and had to keep slowing it down. I live in Wyoming. I live in Cheyenne, but Cheyenne's not as bad as up over west of Laramie, between there and Rollins. That's the worst part. Over Elk Mountain, Arlington, Walcott area, the winds can get just nasty, and the road winds all over. You're going up and down, and it doesn't take much of the snow off of the side of the road blowing across the road to turn it into ice instantly. It can get really nasty. So I really kind of hate rolling that way. But if I do, I really would prefer to have a heavy load in the wintertime. Light load, you get better fuel economy, but wow, if you're driving against the wind, it's not going to help you out. Sometimes that's worse on your fuel economy, because now you're really having to charge into it. And like I say, when it's blowing you around, then you're also having to spend a little bit more fuel just trying to stay on the damn road. And anyway, I was kind of white-knuckling it, kind of trying to hang on, because I had to deliver today by 3 p.m. was the end of my window. Well, I'm going along okay. I'm dealing with that. Get past Rollins, it actually gets better. So I'm able to kick it up to the speed limit, which is along there, 80 miles an hour. I'm able to kind of run that for quite a while. Then, after I stopped for a break real quick in Rock Springs, after that, then the snow started. And now you got the snow with the wind, and it's a wet snow, so it's turning into ice on the roads instantly. So the roads were getting pretty nasty. So now if you're familiar with I-80 in Wyoming at all, after you hit Fort Bridger, Wyoming, where there's a TA kind of at the top of the hill there at about 7,600 feet, then you have a down and up, a down and up, a down and up thing kind of, and they call it the Sisters. Why? I don't know. Makes no sense to me. Why is it called the Sisters? Who knows? Why is the pass in Oregon right before you drop down into Pendleton called Cabbage? Who knows? Somebody years ago decided that's what they were going to call it. And anyway, so going down and up the Sisters, I'm going real slow. They had the speed limit drop down to 45. I'm climbing back up the first hill, and I keep hearing on the radio how there's a double tanker, Sinclair, who had spun out towards the top of the hill. So, I got the CB up, we're trying to get information, and then this ass wagon on the CB does what I just hate. Why these people buy CBs, I just don't get it. If all you want to do is buy a CB just to be a jerk, there's plenty of other ways you can be a jerk. People are trying to get information, and this guy comes on, oh, well, you can listen to it.
Hey, run out of this, going west. You gotta run out of it when your mom's pussy get my sperm in it.
Yeah, thanks for being an asshole when people are just asking for information, you dickwad.
I tell you what, why don't you pull over and I'll show you the dickwad.
Yeah, you fucking do it, because you don't have the fucking balls to do it anyway. You're just all talking, you're just an asshole, causing shit when people are trying to get some information about some weather conditions. What a fucking asshole. Why? I don't even know why you bought a CB.
Yeah, you're the fucking asshole. You want information, get it from God.
And there towards the top, you saw the Sinclair truck spun out there, and we were able to get by on the left side. I just hate people like that on the CB. I hate people like that in general. I hate a lot of people. Most people piss me off, and I'm sorry, but they do. I don't have a tolerance for that. That's why you heard me talking back saying, all right, pal. I know one time delivering at a Burris in Elkton, Maryland. There's a guy parked, he went in to get his paperwork. He's blocking the docks. We can't back into the dock. It's real tight anyway. He finally comes out, and I get in his face. I'm like, hey, thanks for finally coming out. We're all trying to back in. And he gets all over me. He's like, well, I'm going to kick your ass, blah, 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 blah. I don't mind if I go to jail. At that point, I'm a pretty tolerant guy. But at that point, I lost it. I'm not a tough guy. I'm a 52, almost 53-year-old fat white guy. But there's a point where and so I was like, fine. Hey, you want to kick my ass? Go ahead. I'm right here. And of course, I got it right up in his face. It's just gonna hurt me for a little while. You're going to jail. Of course, he backed down because most of those guys are talk. They're not gonna back it up, and they don't expect a almost 53-year-old fat white guy to take him on. Don't push me too far, baby. Anyway, after the sisters, it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And I got some video here where I could damn near barely see. The ice was, getting all over the windshield. I had the defroster on high, blasting. I'm sweating it out in here, but yet it can't keep the windshield clean. And so right as I crossed into Utah, I got the green light at the port of entry on my pre-pass. I still pulled in because I needed to let the ice melt. So then, while I'm waiting for the ice to melt on the windshield and all that, I went inside. I took all my stuff inside because I knew if I went in just to use the bathroom, they might just call me over and say, hey, let's look at your stuff anyway. I was all legal. I'm all up to date. I didn't mind. And so while I was in there, I said, hey, if you want to give me a level 3 inspection, the company I leased to, Turquoise Trucking, gives me a bonus for a good inspection. And she said, well, we can't just do one because you requested. But while we're here, why don't we just do a document inspection? Okay, fine. So that's where they look at your driver's license and they just want to look at like the your cab card registration and the IFTA. And they did. And then she saw, oh, well, your company insurance is out of date. I'm like, really? Okay, I guess I shouldn't have brought it up, stupid me. So now I can't leave the port of entry until I call into the company and say, all right, give me the current insurance information. They faxed it into them, luckily, and then I was able to, now I have a copy to put in my permit book. While I was waiting for that fax to come in, though, they shut down I-80 in Wyoming just behind me. So I barely made it into Utah before they shut down I-80, but you can tell by the video why. The roads were just getting terrible. So after I leave the port of entry, I'm driving and it starts, getting all bad again, as you can see on the video. Alright, so long story short, I finally made it down here to Utah, but once I hit all that bad weather in Wyoming, I knew I wasn't going to make my delivery today. I called the broker and said, look, it's just not going to happen. I got shut down yesterday for the wind, and now today the roads are just nasty. It's ice skating out here. So at least I can deliver tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. My company already found me another load picking up in the Salt Lake area tomorrow after that, going back up to Washington State, which is good because now I can finally go back through the Western Idaho Freightliner in Nampa, Idaho, and pick up the steer shocks I ordered a couple of weeks ago, but I wasn't able to pick up on my way back because it was New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and they were shut down. But anyway, at least, I got to go pick up my shocks as I head up to Washington State. So there you go. Some good and some bad. So just another kind of day in the life of trucking. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like. Please ring the bell. Comment if you would like. I read all the comments and I do respond. It may not be right away because I may be driving. But I do respond, so please do that, okay? And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust, clutch out.